everyone, my name is Shelby and this is the YouTube series where I reveal what's inside these mystery pottery molds I found on Gumtree. This is part 28 and we're doing a thin mold today that has 3 oval holes. Looking at the mold, it does have a label on the base and it states that it's 3 animal friends. It also has animal friends written in permanent marker on the side, and it states that it's a fox, skunk and raccoon. So I'm very, very excited to see how cute they are. At the moment they look really adorable, and I can tell that they're more of a cartoony style animal rather than a lifelike animal that we've seen more of in the mystery molds. So to prepare it for pouring, I add 2 rubber bands in each of the gaps between the oval holes. I didn't really need 2, I was just being extra careful and tight with the rubber banding, but I pour it up and I overcompensate heaps with the clay and totally spill it everywhere, and that's okay because I can pretty much scrape that off with a rubber kidney once it's all set. So here's my little rubber kidney. I love my rubber kidney. It is so handy for so many different little jobs in the studio, so I highly recommend getting one of these eventually down the track if you are doing pottery and don't have one yet. I just find them really handy. So I open it up to reveal the cutest little trio of friends, the 3 best friends. I really love them. This sort of like woodland creature vibe, I would say. I'm not really sure where these live in because we don't have skunks or raccoons in Australia, so I'm gonna go with like a woodland theme, even though I would sort of say that like a bunny or I don't know, what are woodland animals? I'm totally spacing out, but I think that they're really sweet trio of cuties. So I start by cleaning up all the pieces so that I can paint on them all smoothly. I clean up the little holes so that they're nice and smooth, and I pretty much go in with the traditional colours of the animals. So I've got your black and white for the skunk. I then go in with the bright orange and white for the fox, and then the raccoon has got like some light and darker browns, which you'll see me do in a second. But this is mostly painting. I don't have too much to say this week, so I will sort of let you enjoy. I found some nice little non-copyrighted music to put over the painting this week that I'm pretty excited to use and to not be super annoying. It's really hard to find non-copyrighted music for YouTube, so I hope you enjoy that. The one thing I did do, which I'll talk about now before I get into the painting snippets, is that I forgot to film the glazing part, but that's because I glazed 2 sets, and then the other sets I left without glaze so that we can have a bit of a comparison of what the glaze looks like compared to non-glazed pieces, so you can sort of decide whether you like the glaze or not. And this was for 2 reasons, because I wanted to show you that the comparison, and for you to have a look at what the colors look like and how they're different with the glaze. But I also had my kiln trip last week. I call it tripping, but it's essentially the elements couldn't get to a high enough temperature, which means the elements need to be changed. But I haven't been able to get them changed in time for this week's mold reveal. So I thought I'll risk putting in the pieces glazed, but worst case, if the glaze doesn't reach the right temperature in the kiln, I've at least got the ones that I didn't put glaze on that still look good. So when you put underglaze in the kiln, it doesn't really matter if it doesn't reach temperature, but with glaze it needs to reach a certain temperature to get that nice glassy gloss-like finish. Otherwise it can come out cloudy if the temperature's too low. So that's why I did 2 different lots, but I will come back in pretty much near the end, but just enjoy some painting footage and relax and unwind whilst I make these cute little critters into the little characters they are.
Okay, so I'm just adding some final little toe beans onto the critters, and each one sort of has its own little bow tie in a different colour that complements their colouring as well. I didn't mention earlier, but this mould really overwhelmed me because of how little there were and how there was 3 different ones, and I was just so concerned about how long it was going to take me to paint them. But I don't know why I was so overwhelmed with these pieces. I think mainly because of the skunk and trying to map out where that back stripe went, or maybe just procrastinating because I wasn't super passionate about seeing how this was going to turn out. Like, I could already see how it was going to turn out before I painted it, so maybe that's why, but I'm really happy that I persevered in the end and finally got them done. So I popped them through the kiln, and here's the error one telling me that the elements need to be changed, but here is what they look like. They turned out okay. It got to a high enough temperature to get that glaze, so we can have a little comparison. So first up, we've got the little foxies, and you can see that the pop of colour is so different with the glaze versus the underglaze. It's almost like 2 different aesthetics, like a really vibrant aesthetic versus a pastel aesthetic. The colours still have changed so much that they've become a lot more vibrant, but just look, it's unbelievable really when you look at the orange, how bright gloss glaze can make the colours become. Here is the raccoons, and they're all really quirky and cute. I love their faces the most, I think. Again, the gloss really makes the colours pop. I
actually really like gloss. I get a lot of people saying, can you just leave the gloss off your work? I want to see what it looks like with just the pastel colors. And I totally understand the pastel vibe, and I really love pastel colors, but there's just something about the gloss and how it transforms a piece and makes it so shiny, and the feeling of them as well. Like the texture of the non-glazed pieces is a little bit more chalky. Well, not a little bit, it is chalky. And the gloss glaze makes it all smooth and really lovely to hold and touch. I also noticed that the pink, I was worried it wasn't going to show up on the skunk in the black, but it actually became a lot brighter and is a lot more contrasty compared to the orange fox, where you can barely even see that pink detail. So I love that. That was actually a surprise for me, to see how well the pink actually shows up on a black color. I painted over the top of the black, so that was really cool to see. Here is all three of them together. They are very sweet, very quirky, and very cute. I'm so glad I persevered and got them done. It's definitely a relief that they're done. I really love how cute they are. They're definitely my style in many ways. I don't know what it was. I was just very reluctant to paint them. But I want to know what you think of them in the comments. So let me know below, and make sure to like and subscribe for part 29.